The Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service Community Outreach Program is an initiative that is designed to educate the public on the prison service programs and other interventions, and to enlighten the public about work that is being done behind prison walls to prepare inmates for successful reintegration into society as constructive citizens. This program will be taken to various venues across Trinidad and Tobago after our launch today, beginning on Friday, when we have the first installment of this initiative right across the street on Harris Promenade. At the end of September, we are moving to the Point 14 area. At the end of October, we'll be at Trin City Mall for a 3-day exhibition, and we are scheduled to be in Tobago sometime at the end of November. Today's launch in San Fernando came about because of the interest shown in the work done by inmates by His Worship the Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Haji Kazim Hussein, when he visited one of our exhibitions at Gulf City Mall in October of last year. He was very impressed with the work that was being done, not only by the inmates, but the role that prison officers are playing in preparing inmates to return to society. And as part of that, he has asked that through our inmate art program, that we commission 2 paintings that would be placed at the offices of the San Fernando City Corporation. One of those paintings is a painting of the original town hall in San Fernando here, and the other is one of the first city hall that we had in San Fernando when San Fernando achieved city status. One of those paintings will be presented today before the end of the program, and the other on Friday during the exhibition on the promenade. The Prison Service Programs and Industry Department has become a critical part of what the prison service does in terms of our daily work. And when the prison service adopted the restorative justice philosophy, we began to place infrastructure in place to make sure that these programs were successful. So now we have a Deputy Commissioner of Prisons in charge of programs and industry, an Assistant Commissioner, a Senior Superintendent, and various other ranks, and a host of other officers that work in this department. Coming to bring welcome remarks now, as we continue with our program, I'd like to welcome Mr. Faisal Hanif, the Assistant Commissioner of Prisons, Programs and Industry.
In welcoming you all, I would like to say this morning, this program here today, the launching of the Community Outreach Program and the presentation of the painting to the Mayor's office, is one of the biggest stepping stones in the history of the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service. Many times we are on the outside with these same programs on our 3 days exhibition at the various malls. The comments, you'll usually hear comments. Prison officers, are they the bully that people make them out to be? Now that these programs are outside, they are answering that question for the public. Prison has now opened up itself to the public and is showing the positive sides, both of officers and inmates. And I will explain why I say officers. Officers are the ones that are supervising and assisting in all programs. They are assisting in showing the inmates how to carry about themselves. They are trained in the disciples, pottery, small gas engine repairs, landscaping, name it, they are trained. So when they are supervising these inmates, we are sure that they are given good guidance. I would like to say hats off to the officers who have dedicated themselves to these programs. These programs, as we heard Mr. Bedesi say, will be carried throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. This is the beginning of opening up the prison service to showcase what goes on behind the prison walls. Everyone is interested in knowing what happens behind the prison walls. This year is the time that it will be showcased. So all the questions, all the answers people are seeking, it will be revealed. And I am sure, very much sure, that with these programs, the public will get a better understanding of what is happening in the prison wall, behind the prison walls. They will not only think of officers as the big bad bully that people have been making them out. And that is because they was ignorant to the fact that there are positive things taking place behind the walls and not only negative things. So with these few words, I would like to say welcome to each and all. Thank you very much.
Councillor Robert Paris, Commissioner of Prisons, Mr. Duke, ACP, Mr. Hanif and other senior staff, other members of the prison service here today, Pundit, Handrad, Pasad, inmates, members of the press, family and friends. And I think sometime while I was sitting, I recognized Mr. Clayton Morris, if he's still here. Yeah, Mr. Morris. Good morning. I am always so elated when we have these events to showcase the talents of the inmates in the Trinidad and Tobago prisons. I'm happy too that the press is here to take a view of the positives and not always run to grasp the negatives. We have so many positives that we need to showcase. And this caravan will showcase the multi-talented inmates. And let me say here now, I want to commend, and I'm proud to lead such a dynamic programs department with officers who give their everything. Thank you very much for being there day and night. Thanks a lot. Councillor Paris, I want to say to you, sir, that by inviting us here today, the prison service, two important things strike at me. One is that you are helping us to build the community relations. And I thank you so much for embracing us and allowing us to come into your city to start this particular trend. Thanks so much. Then there's another aspect we have to look at, and that is the shared responsibility model. Crime is not the prison's problem, it's not a police problem, it is not a court problem. It is everybody's problem. And we need to look at it that way. Sometimes you hear the police commissioner, the Minister of National Security, laboring the point that it is not an isolated fight. It belongs to all of us. And no pun intended, sometimes we feel it's a cop-out that the police might be saying that. But you know what? If we have tried one particular method for so many years, and that is probably increasing the police service, members of the police service, looking at the army and police joint patrols, why not give the prison a little more, yes, a little more resources to fight the crime? Because we fight crime from inside. And the sad thing is that the public, when the public thinks about protection of the public, they think about police and army. But we protect the public from inside. We fight crime from inside. And my point is, why not, instead of talking to the armchair experts, why not talk to the persons involved in crime? So that you can understand clearly why crime is so evident, why there's so much wrong. Why not talk to them? And that is where this outreach program comes, this caravan, as we move to other areas. Mr. Bidesi mentioned Twin City, and we have been to Long Circular. And of course, we are here in San Fernando. And I'm thinking about the rural areas, going to the rural areas and spreading the word, spreading the prison gospel, letting the families out there see how you would have transformed their lives. Because I am here long enough to know that some of the inmates I'm seeing here in the band that I consider the best band in Trinidad and Tobago right now, that is the prisoners, the band that you see there with inmates from the MSP, is that if you listen to the music and you can't believe, and I have known these inmates for years, and I'm saying that if they could transform their lives on their own volition, everybody can do it. Why not talk to them? Those who have decided to make that change. Our objective is to change as many lives as we could with the little resources we have. A message to the wise. I endorse, let me thank Mr. Hanif, Mr. Bidesi, and other members who put this together, who would have had the interaction with the mayor and others. Let me thank them for their foresight. And I am certain that this particular project is going to be a fantastic one once the press continues to follow us. So I implore the press, please, as we move along, Friday with the opening, everywhere we go, please follow us and show the nation that with the little resources we have, we could change lives that will produce magnificent work. Thank you very much.
The Programs and Industry Department of the Prison Service does a lot of work. And you will see artwork here. We have some books on display that were written by inmates who are incarcerated. Some of them are the remand prison, and we are preparing as well to do a book launch for an inmate that has just completed a book. So you can take a look at some of the books that were written by inmates behind prison walls. But we have the aquaponics program that is being conducted, I think, at the Eastern Correctional and Rehabilitation Center, where we are teaching how to rear fish. We have art, craft, as you would see, the houses at the back there that were constructed by an inmate using waste material from the wood workshop at Port of Spain Prison. We have soft furnishings by the women's prison. We have rabbit rearing going on, I think, at Carrera. The concrete pot that you would see in front here were all done by inmates, made and painted and so on. We have a large education program which is tremendously successful, where inmates can write up to A levels. We have the soap art, and you'd see somewhere in the back that some of the inmates took soap and created some beautiful floral arrangements and so on. We also have the musical program. And these are just some of the things that will be showcased on the community caravan, including a legal clinic by the Prison Service Legal Department comprising of prison officers. We have a collaboration with the mediation services on how to resolve conflict peacefully. They'll be doing blood pressure testing, sugar testing by the prison's medical department. We're also collaborating with two NGOs to do eye testing and dental examinations. So those are some of the things that you can see when you join us on this community caravan, apart from the work that is being done by inmates and the prison officers.
We in the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service believe that everyone deserves the chance to fulfill their greatest potential. And nothing should limit the scope of their future in spite of being incarcerated. In this regard, we have been endeavoring to provide those under our charges, these gentlemen and I think a lady here, plus others that would not have the opportunity to be here today. We have been endeavoring to provide them with appropriate opportunities for rehabilitation and consequently successful reintegration into the society that we call Trinidad and Tobago. Not only being integrated today, but other partnerships that would have been there before, enables us to build a better criminal justice system that does not weigh in incarcerated individuals down so heavily that they cannot reach and achieve their dreams, and that the Trinidad and Tobago is not deprived of the immeasurable possibility where all those who come into contact with our criminal justice system can grow, flourish, and take our nation to a new and greater heights. I am pleased to announce that as part of this partnership with the San Fernando City Corporation, the Prison Service Band and Musical Vibrations Inmates Band will do 3 concerts in various communities within the city of San Fernando and to be hosted by the mayor. I know I'm made to understand that he might be a little late this morning, but he should be here this morning. The venues for these outreach programs, dates and times will be decided by the mayor. Additionally, the city and the prison service will embark upon a crime and violence prevention initiative where we'll be conducting a mentoring initiative involving schools in the city of San Fernando during this current school term. These mentoring sessions will be conducted utilizing the mentoring team from the Youth Training Center and will focus on issues surrounding things like bullying, violence among other issues confronting young people in our society. Today, as we are in the process of launching the Prison Service Community Outreach Program. And I just wanted you to be aware that this initiative based on one of our 5 priorities, and it basically goes under the rubric of relate, where we utilize our resources, our personnel, in order to build a bridge with ourselves and the communities that would make reintegration of the persons we have and in our charges, the persons we try to impact positive on their lives, to build a bridge, make their reintegration easier and, I would say, relatively successful over a period of time. So basically, in closing, I want to give thanks to the community and the persons who have come here this morning, and let you all know that the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, we would continue to redouble our efforts towards protection of society. As Mr. Wilson says, not about locking up people and looking fancy on the streets with guns, but helping the persons who are here so that when they rejoin society, basically they have an input to make in terms of not only themselves, but in terms of helping others not to walk the road that they would have traveled. So through our diverse programs, as I said, we continue to redouble our efforts towards making not only a successful integration to the persons here and others into society, but overall to contribute to a better Trinidad and Tobago, something and someplace that we as a nation, we as citizens of this country, hope, some of us pray, some of us wish, and generally our efforts in the prison service is towards that end. So I thank the borough, the city of San Fernando, for having us here this morning, and let us be a part of this bridge that they support towards a better Trinidad and Tobago as we go forward. Thank you for your time, Peter.
I want to thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Krishna Badesi, Mr. Cecil Duke, Acting Commissioner of Prisons, Mr. Gerald Wilson, Acting Deputy Commissioner of Prisons, in charge of prisons programs, Mr. Faisal Hanif, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Prisons, Mr. Sherwin Bruce, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Prisons, Mr. Fabian Alexander, Acting Senior Soup for Prisons, our representative from the interreligious organization, Pundit Prasad, members of the media, inmates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. What is it, good evening or good morning still? Good morning, very good. I bring you greetings on behalf of His Worship, the Mayor, Alderman Kazim Hussein, who is unavoidably absent today. We are celebrating Eid ul-Adha, and we know that His Worship is a devoted Muslim, so he's unavoidably not here today. But I must commend him on his initiative and his partnership with the prison services to have such a program as the Prison Services Community Caravan come to the city of San Fernando. And I say this in the vein of this month I celebrate 24 years, yes, 24 years. I know I look like I'm 24, but I celebrated 24 years this month as a trained professional artist. Members of the media who've been following me for years, y'all don't know that. That's a little secret. But I have been formally trained, and I'm fortunate that my parents saw my ability and my talent at a very young age. And I attended the New York City High School of Art and Design. Thereafter, I attained my first degree in art and advertising from the New York City College of Technology, and my second degree in communication design. In other words, what that means is I, before politics, enjoyed a very lucrative and very honest life as an artist. So when I came into here this morning, I made it my point to greet and speak to each one of the artists that are here. Now, people don't really understand the power of art. Artists are more powerful than politicians. So I guess I perhaps stepped down the ladder. But there's a lot to be done with regard to shaping and transcending and forming people's minds. That is what I know art to be. Art shapes people's minds. I want to congratulate the prison services on this reformative and this restorative program for the inmates. It is really, really, really for members of the public who aren't here to see what I experienced here this morning. I am indeed elated to be here. I mean, I don't know if they planned this, or because you know the mayor is a very, very cunning and very, very, very smart person. He knows the artist in the midst, and he knows how much I really and truly adore my craft. But permit me please to speak about how art has transcended and changed my community. This is a community-based program, and I will speak about how the prison services, prison officers assisted me in the community of Pleasantville. In 2012, I believe it was, we got some information through the prison services that there was going to be a gang initiation in Pleasantville. The city at that time had been experiencing some gang-related issues that was carried even in the nation's parliament at that time. We had an escalation of gang violence in Trinidad and Tobago. So we met in the office of the councillor, and they brought a letter to me that they translated, right? I'm not going to speak about who or what the gang was, but we identified symbols that were being put all over the Pleasantville area. One such place was the bus shelter in Pleasantville. And when we identified that, what I did was I went then to former Mayor Marlene Coudray, and I said to her, Ms. Coudray, if you give me the time and the money, I would like to shape and change people's lives. She said to me, how you plan on doing that, counselor? Said, many years ago, the fraternity that I belong to, Phi Sigma Chi Fraternity Incorporated, we went into urban areas in New York City, and what we did was we restored the area by putting art on the wall. So she gave me the money. We hired some young university students, UE students, and they transcended Pleasantville by creating what is now known no longer as the Pleasantville Bus Shelter, but the Pleasantville Wall of Fame. I was so taken back that this area is the only area in Trinidad and Tobago that has an image of people that would have contributed towards the development of my community. One such person is the former Prime Minister, Mr. Patrick Augustus Mervyn Manning. We were able to host the entire country upon his passing. And that bus shelter transcended to a place that people from all over Trinidad and Tobago could come and pay homage to the late, great Patrick Manning. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, the power of art. Shapes minds, develops communities. And now that bus shelter is really and truly one of the landmarks in the city of San Fernando, and I'm very, very proud to be the person that was the driving force behind that, because no one knew the reason why we did it. But I've revealed it here today. They say in politics, timing is everything. Well, I revealed it here today. That is the reason why we have a Pleasantville Wall of Fame. Right? I want to say that one of the artists I saw here, he showed me a portrait of the former Prime Minister. For those who know or don't know, that is my godfather, very close to me. I know those in the media would know that. And I want to bring on Friday Mrs. Manning. I'll go there perhaps after I leave here, and David, to see this art. Oh my God, I think I want that piece for my office. It might be a little bit in war. We might have an auction for it, but it was very awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am a man, sometimes a few words. You know, they can't put a microphone in front of a politician, but I'm here today as an artist. And if I knew that there was going to be this level of art, I would have dressed as an artist and not a politician. Ladies and gentlemen, with those few words, I would like to sincerely thank you.
Thanks on behalf of the Mayor of the City of San Fernando, Mayor Hossain, for having us here for this ceremony. We would like to thank Councillor Robert Paris for bringing words of encouragement for the good work that we, the prison service, has been doing throughout the years and continuing into the future. To my officers, I thank you. You are working behind the scenes. The ERU officers, the other officers, you know, you provide that support for the program staff to continue to do our job. I thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for being such an attentive audience. Do have a good day.